Yes, I am deeply personally invested in this race because Ben has been at my side, helping to advance all the issues that I care about and we care about across the state. And I know he's ready to do this job because I've seen him succeed over and over and over again as I've asked him to build coalitions all across the state. And when you're working for me on the official side, not on the campaign side, as Ben has been, he's building coalitions of Democrats and Republicans, of conservatives and liberals around issues that matter to the state. He's been by my side as we've tried to reinvent the way that our office gets input and does outreach. He's one of the people that helps me organize and plan the walk across Connecticut that I've done year after year. He's who goes out on my behalf to listen to what people care about and then formulate responses on how the government can help. And so I just have seen him just be so effective as a coalition builder, as somebody who listens constantly, who thinks about creative solutions, and I just know him as just a person of deep integrity, and that maybe these days is what matters most. And so I'm definitely personally invested in this race. But I also think that the story that Matt is telling about what Middletown has become is also really important to the state, right? Middletown is a success story, right? Middletown is a destination today. It's where young people want to move to, right? And it's a model for what lots of other small cities in this state can become if they make some of the choices that you've made here. And so the continuation of Middletown's success is not just to me about making sure that everybody here gets what they need. It's about continuing to create this story that others can follow. And so that's why Ben's focus and his vision, and the slate's vision, is one that I want to invest in. And it's the reason why I'm back for the second time in a couple weeks. Because there's a huge choice between Ben and his opponent when it comes to investing in Middletown schools that are getting better, right? Schools that are becoming destination schools. The choice you have between somebody that wants to put a zero on schools' budgets versus Ben who wants to make common sense investments, that's a story between continuing Middletown's success or going backwards. Ben's laser-like focused on continuing the development of the riverfront and making sure that you're prioritizing citizen access and passive recreation, right? Getting the riverfront right is about investing in that path forward for Middletown, capitalizing its success or going backwards. And then I think Ben's smart approach to regionalization, right? Sort of seeing the places where it makes sense, understanding other places where it doesn't, but understanding there are efficiencies for taxpayers that you can get, and wanting to be a leader on doing that the right way. That's about capitalizing on your success as well. So I think he's just plugged into all of the fights that matter to continuing to making Middletown a great place to live, but also continuing to make it a model. But Matt's also right that I'm here because your success is also a way to pave the way for our success in Washington. There is absolutely a connection between the fights that are going on right here at the local level and the fights that we're having. The only way that Connecticut protects itself against the worst excesses of this reckless, racist, divisive agenda of President Trump is to have local leaders who have the courage to fight back, right? Mayors who are not going to turn their police forces into immigration officers, mayors who are going to invest in doing our part at the local level to fight climate change if the federal government for the time being isn't going to do our part. Mayors who understand the need to be dignified and civil in the way that they conduct business, especially when conducting business across the aisle with people that they disagree with, if the federal government isn't going to model that kind of behavior. And so these races are so important for us in Connecticut because we need people who are going to stand up to the president, especially in high-profile cities like Middletown. But there's also this big fight that we're having in Washington about the future of democracy, right? This impeachment inquiry is really about whether we're going to allow our country to turn into a tin pot dictatorship, right? Because the difference between democracies and tin pot dictatorships is that in a democracy, we don't allow the President of the United States to turn his office and the massive powers in his office into a mechanism to destroy his political opponents, right? That's what third world autocracies do. That's not what America lets its president get away with. You unfortunately see big swaths of the American public who are maybe willing to give up on some of the guardrails of democracy that we have come to rely on. And that fight obviously is being waged right now in the House of Representatives, and it may be waged very soon in a trial in the United States Senate. But where people really come to believe or not believe in democracy is at the local level, right? Because the most real interaction that anybody has with anybody in political life is the folks that are on the Board of Education and the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Town Council and the Mayor's office. And so if you have people who really believe in democracy, transparency, right, in including everybody in a way that Ben believes in and the Slate believes in, then you can fight this fight against the erosion of democracy more effectively than I can, even